Hello, mister. Day, after all the dangerous things that happened to Huyen, how will you decide to make things better for Huyen and Maya?
With the dangers Huyen and Maya have been going through, I feel very worried for them. I feel like I have to do something to bring them a happy life. But now we also have 2V here, an unfortunate girl, and she really needs our help. Right now, I really want Huyen and Maya to come back home with me, but I don't know if Huyen will agree or not. I hope everything goes well.
Today, I'm bringing you a deeply emotional story about the challenges and dangers that Huyen and Maya are facing. Day has urged Huyen to return to the village with him, hoping they can build a new life together, away from the dangers they're currently facing, and get Maya enrolled in school. But will Huyen make the difficult choice to go with him? Or will she decide to stay and fight her own battles? Let's dive into this intense story to find out. Meanwhile, 2V's sudden departure has left Huyen in a state of shock, mixed with worry and uncertainty about what comes next. How will this impact the family? I hope you'll experience the emotional roller coaster and the powerful moments of this story as it unfolds. But first, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so I can keep you updated with the latest twists and turns in the journey of Huyen and 2V's family. The morning sun gently bathed the small creek, making the water sparkle like diamonds. Maya was happily playing by the water with Huyen, her laughter filling the quiet air like soft waves soothing the soul. But just then, Day walked over and sat next to Huyen, his eyes full of worry and hope, making her feel that something important was about to unfold. Huyen D's voice was soft, but there was an unspoken weight behind his words. I need to tell you something. Huyen looked up, her eyes curious and clear. What is it? D paused for a moment, as if the words were too heavy to speak, and he wasn't sure how to say them. He met Huyen's gaze before speaking again. This place, it's too dangerous for you and Maya. I want you to come back with me to the north. We can start fresh. His words crashed like waves against the shore, pushing Huyen's peaceful thoughts further away. She could feel a mixture of uncertainty and regret, knowing that leaving this place would be a painful decision. This was the first time she and Maya had felt any sense of peace in a long while. Huyen didn't say anything. Her eyes locked on Day's, where she could see both resolve and concern. Day continued, his voice steady and reassuring. Life up north might be tough, but I'll take care of you and Maya. We'll have a garden, a pond, and we can send Maya to school. We'll see her grow up, see her future unfold. Huyen's heart sank, her chest tightening as D's words hit her. She wanted to cry. She could feel his love, his worry in every word. Huyen and Maya had already been through so much pain, and now, standing at this crossroads, she didn't know what to do. She quietly replied, I need some time to think about this. De held her gaze, his hands gently holding hers, as if trying to offer her some peace. We'll start over there. It's safer, and everything here is too uncertain now. Huyen lowered her head, the fear she had been holding in spilling over. I'm scared. Scared that if we go back, both Maya and I will face danger again. The worry felt like a huge wave, sweeping away any calm thoughts she had left. D tightened his grip, offering strength and certainty. Don't worry, I'm here. Your ex-husband was arrested by the police. You won't have to fear anymore. His words, like a promise, a shield of protection, seemed to calm the storm inside Huyen. She looked up at him, her eyes wide in surprise, feeling a weight lift from her heart. Maya was still playing nearby, her innocent laughter, like a beacon of hope, a sign of brighter days ahead. But Huyen still had one question lingering in her mind, one she couldn't answer just yet. She needed more time to be sure. To be sure that whatever decision she made would be the right one, not just for herself, but for Maya too. Dee's warm words today had stirred something deep within Huyen's heart. But the thoughts swirling in her mind were too many, and she knew that she needed time to think, to truly decide before speaking with Day again. They returned to the house together, where everything was still a work in progress, the walls not quite sturdy yet. But in the quiet space, Huyen and Tu Vi were preparing for a new day. Today, they would head to the creek to gather seaweed to sell at the market. The calmness of it all felt strange to Huyen, a little unsettling. She turned to Dee and reminded him Maya will stay home and be good. You also need to be careful with those dangerous people. Dee nodded, his eyes filled with unspoken concern. Huyen turned to leave, but quickly hung the wet clothes on the porch, letting the soft sunlight dry them. Before walking out the door, she gave Dee one last look and softly repeated, "Be careful, Day." Dee simply nodded silently, his worry still evident in his eyes. The sound of the saw and Maya's laughter echoed through the house. Huyen and Tu Vi made their way down the winding path, where the grass grew thick, leading to the creek. The walk was long, and the water rushed violently, swirling white as it moved along. They carefully waded through, stepping lightly on slippery stones, maintaining their balance against the force of the current. The sound of the rushing water was like a soft melody filling the air and creating a serene, peaceful atmosphere. They picked bundles of fresh seaweed, gently placing them into their baskets before carrying them back to shore, loaded with hopes wrapped in green. Once on land, Huyen sat on a large rock, letting out a heavy sigh as the weight of the moment settled in. She turned to Tu Vi and quietly asked, "Day wants me to move back to the village. What do you think about that?" Tu Vi listened, her gaze distant, lost in her own thoughts. "Dee wants what's best for you, Huyen. This place is too dangerous, surrounded by strangers. Having Dee by your side, you're really lucky." Huyen didn't answer right away, her eyes reflecting the storms brewing inside her. After a long pause, she let out another sigh. "I need to go to the market now. You stay here, okay? It's too dangerous for you to go with me." Tu Vi looked at Huyen, her eyes full of concern, but she didn't say a word. She simply nodded, turned, and slowly started heading back to the house. Her footsteps grew quieter, leaving Huyen standing alone in the vastness, surrounded by thoughts she couldn't shake. Huyen stood there silently watching Tu Vi fade into the morning mist. Her heart felt heavy, her mind swirling with questions that had no answers. Dee's decision was rooted in care and sincere love, but was it really the best choice for her and Maya? Every step, every decision felt so difficult. The feeling of anxiety returned, engulfing her heart as she faced an uncertain future. Tu Vi returned alone, her steps heavy with worry and anxiety, her mind swirling with conflicting thoughts. The weight of it all felt unbearable. She didn't want to burden Dee or Huyen anymore. Deep down, she believed that her presence, her mistakes, had only brought danger and trouble into their lives. She couldn't escape the guilt that pressed down on her chest. As she walked through the door of the house, she rushed to her room, quickly locking it behind her, seeking refuge from the world outside. She sat down on the bed, feeling the weight of the silence around her, her thoughts loud and chaotic. Her heart felt like it was on fire, the heat of her inner turmoil rising with every breath. She wanted to scream, but no sound escaped her lips. Her hands shaking, 2V grabbed a piece of paper. The pen felt like a foreign object in her grasp, but she forced herself to write the words she could no longer keep inside. The goodbye she had avoided for so long poured out of her, each sentence heavy with emotion. As the words formed, tears fell staining the paper, small steady drops that blurred the ink like rain falling on a window. She felt a sharp ache in her chest, the agony of knowing that she couldn't say goodbye properly, that she had to leave without explanation. But in her heart, she knew it was the right decision. She couldn't stay, not when her presence was putting them all in danger. She folded her things, quietly packing up her life in the only way she could, carefully leaving the house as if she had never been there. Her departure was silent, a whispered exit from the lives of those she cared about, a quiet ending to her time with them. When Huyen returned from the market and found 2V gone, the uneasy feeling in her chest grew into something more sinister. She searched the house in panic, her mind racing before her eyes landed on the letter on the table. Her hands trembled as she opened it, reading the heartfelt words inside. It was full of gratitude and goodbye's words that broke Huyen's heart as she realized that 2V had left without a word, without giving them the chance to say goodbye. Huyen's heart twisted painfully, a deep sadness sweeping over her as she felt the emptiness left behind by 2V's absence. She turned to her voice thick with emotion. She must have made her own decision. The words felt heavy in her throat, and she had to pause to breathe as if she was trying to swallow her sorrow. I hope 2V finds the happiness she deserves, no matter which path she chooses. D stood next to her, his own sadness clear in his eyes, but understanding in his heart. He knew that sometimes love wasn't enough to keep someone by your side, that people had to make their own choices, even if it meant leaving behind those they cared about. He realized that 2V's departure, though painful, was something she had to do. The choice had been inevitable. Still, they both hoped from the depths of their hearts that wherever 2V went, she would find peace and happiness, the peace that she deserved after everything she had been through. D looked at Huyen, his love for her, and Maya shining through in his gaze. It was a love so deep, so pure, that he would do anything to protect them. His love didn't need promises or words. It only needed the presence of his family. He didn't ask for anything, but to be there with them as they faced the challenges ahead. Huyen and Maya were the center of his world, the reason he kept going, the reason he believed in the possibility of a better future. With every passing day, D hoped that Huyen could feel the depth of his love, and that one day they would walk together down the path to happiness together as a family.
Hôm nay tôi mang đến cho bạn một câu chuyện vô cùng xúc động về những thử thách và nguy hiểm mà Huyền và Mây A đang phải đối mặt. Đệ đã thúc giục Huyền trở về làng của mình, hy vọng họ có thể cùng nhau xây dựng một cuộc sống mới, tránh xa những hiểm nguy mà họ đang phải đối mặt và đưa Mây A vào trường học. Nhưng liệu Huyền có đưa ra lựa chọn khó khăn và đi cùng anh, hay cô quyết định ở lại và chiến đấu cho cuộc chiến của riêng mình? Hãy cùng nhau khám phá câu chuyện xuất sắc để tìm hiểu cô ấy. Hãy cùng nhau khám phá câu chuyện sâu sắc này. Trong khi đó, sự ra đi đột ngột của Tử Nha đã khiến Huyền rơi vào tâm trạng sốc, xen lẫn lo lắng và không chắc chắn về những xảy ra tiếp theo. Đi đâu ạ? Tôi hy vọng bạn sẽ trải nghiệm được những cung bậc cảm xúc và những khoảnh khắc mạnh mẽ của câu chuyện khi nó diễn ra. Nhưng trước tiên, hãy đảm bảo rằng bạn hãy nhấn nút chuông thông báo để tôi có thể cập nhật cho bạn những diễn biến mới nhất trong hành trình của gia đình của Huyền và Tử Vi. Mong rằng họ sẽ có một cuộc liệu Tử Vi sẽ đi đâu và Huyền sẽ như thế nào, liệu Tử Vi có bị chồng cũ bắt lại, hành trình đó sẽ ra như thế nào. Mong các bạn đón xem ở tập tiếp theo.